Yo, what's up, Indie Warriors? Good to be with you once again. Had a little bit of downtime here between reviews, so I thought it'd be fun today to talk about some of the many indie games that have been delisted throughout gaming history. I've seen a bunch of videos popping up in my feed lately about delisted games, but they typically discuss AAA titles, so I thought it would be fun to remember some of the smaller releases that got pulled. Some of these games might have returned in some form, but perhaps others never did. If you enjoy this content, we have plenty to choose from, but for today, we're just going to talk about 3 delisted indies, so please enjoy and comment down below if you've ever played any of these, because I'd definitely be curious to hear. I certainly didn't play it. I don't think any of these. The first delisted game I'd like to talk about is 𝐦𝐸, which released for the ill-fated Wii U, very popular around these parts here at I Dream of Indie Games, in North America and Europe on July 3rd of 2014, with a Japanese release following a few months after. According to 𝐷elistedGames.com, which huge shout out to them for helping me to rediscover many of these games or discover them for the first time, an exact date for when 𝐸𝐸 was removed can't be found, but the reason for its removal seems to relate to Nintendo no longer renewing licenses for Wii U games once they've expired. But what was 𝐸𝐸 exactly? It's a 3D platformer, something like a monkey ball game. Taking place in a sci-fi universe, players control the cute little 𝐸𝐸 who's trying to save blue creatures that have been captured by the Dark Bots. You'll use your rolling abilities to survive, with the game having plenty of puzzles, bosses, time challenges. It was fairly ambitious looking. It also looks like a great deal of creativity went into some of the level design, with maps flipping about, gravity pulls, all kinds of stuff going on. Strangely, this game continued to be sold in Japan until, of course, Nintendo sadly just recently shut down the Wii U eShop as of March 27th of this year, 2023. But fear not, the armadillo does live indeed. That's right, the game came to Steam on July 3rd of 2020, with Fuzzy Wuzzy Games listing it once more and completely free for you to enjoy. Okay, next we're gonna head over to an Xbox One game that also saw release digitally on Steam. And say it with me now if you remember this one, Dad Beats Dad. Wait, no, I said it wrong. Dad Beat Dads. What? Nobody? Dad Beat Dads was a 4-player brawler that, I'll be honest, I had zero recollection of. That's why this video has been really damn fun to make, because I've discovered a lot of these games myself for the first time. It doesn't look terrible per se, with an art style that wouldn't have felt out of place on Cartoon Network or somewhere like that, but I could also see it getting old pretty quickly. You could choose between 9 different daddies. Sorry, there's no bone daddies here. Collect power-ups, customize matches to your liking, and there were modes like Diaper Sniper, similar to Dodgeball. There was Corporate Ladder, and a mode where you steal babies. Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter now. It looks like I'll never have the opportunity to play this one. The game's website was taken down, Stellar J Studios also began to vanish, and thus, with nobody left, the game was removed. Though, their YouTube page does still seem to exist, interestingly enough. Apparently, the price of the game was set to free on Steam for a while, but now it appears to be gone for good, unless, you know, the internet preserved it, which hopefully they did, because, you know, dads need good preserving too. Sorry, dads. Here's the cool thing, though. You can still look at the Steam page, which feels like visiting some kind of sad burial ground for a daddy. Depressing. Lastly, we go from dads to goats with 𝐷eathGoat, an action shooter from Terminal Press. Pretty basic premise here. The game takes place from a top-down perspective, and you gotta blast away at the baddies and survive for as long as possible while listening to brutal death metal. Doesn't sound so bad, right? While you might think the game got pulled for all of the licensed music that it used, including bands like Tyrant of Death and God Forbid, I don't know either of those bands, I've been out of touch for a while. It would appear that this delisting has more to do with Terminal Press simply not making games anymore, and not so much the licensed music that was involved. 𝐷eathGoat would end up being their only video game to see release. However, Terminal Press would go on to work on comics and mobile apps, just to name a few of their endeavors. 𝐷eathGoat would indeed meet its death officially on December 11th of 2019, though much sooner on the Xbox, as it was gone along with Xbox Live Indie Games Marketplace in 2017. All right, now it's your turn. I want to hear from you in the comments below. Did you actually play any of these indies that I talked about today? Be really cool to hear your stories if you did. I personally did not, but I am going to head over to that Steam page and get our Milo. If anything, just in case it gets delisted again at some point. Hopefully not. It is free. Thank you so much for supporting clickbait-free independent content right here at I Dream of Indie Games. Help us bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming. If you enjoy content like this and you get value out of what we do, patreon.com/idreamofindiegames. We have a lot of amazing exclusive shows over there for you to enjoy. Take care of one another, and I will see you on the channel.